Nothing lasts forever. You never really know when it's coming to an end. You don't think about it at the time, but for me, this trip was different.
Hello and welcome to Whitby in North Yorkshire along the stunning Yorkshire coastline, which is absolutely breathtaking. My plan is to follow some of the Route YC, which is a gravel / bikepacking route around here, but I'm going to put my own little twist on things, which you'll see later in the video. It's absolutely beautiful here. I know it very well. I actually came here a few years ago and did one of my very first films here. Very different vibe today though. I hope you enjoy it.
I stocked up on calories at the local cafe before hopping on the bike to start the day. I'd got here early to beat the tourists and started my ride by the famous Whalebone Arch overlooking the beautiful scenery before riding up to the Cinder Track, a traffic-free 30-mile stretch where I was going to be spending most of the day.
I've just joined the Cinder Track, and this is a National Cycle Network route that joins Whitby to Scarborough, and it's really stunning. It's a former railway, so it's mostly flat, and it is pretty hilly around here, so that does make a difference. And it's dead quiet. I'm here on a Monday. Now I've got the luxury of not just coming on weekends, and there's nobody here. Just the way I like it. It doesn't feel 5 minutes since I was here last. Everything feels very familiar. So I was just thinking, it's coming up to 5 years since I've been here, which has just gone so quick. And so much has changed since back then.
I ploughed on the former railway, enjoying the peace and quiet, until all of a sudden, things started to get a little bit more trainy. And I wanted to make the most of this beautiful spring day. As I neared the fishing town of Robin Hood's Bay, things started to get a little bit more scenic.
You can see the sea. And you can see why this track is called the Cinder Track. The whole track is black pretty much, because of the original cinders and clinker that was used to make the railway line, the foundations for it. So it's got this distinct, very dark appearance. I like it.
And it was at this point things started to get very familiar.
Right, I remember this spot really well. When I last came here 5 years ago, I remember cycling down the track and I heard a woman and some children shouting in a really excited way. So I stopped what I was doing and I could see that they were looking out with binoculars out into the bay, and the children were shouting, "Dolphins, dolphins!" And there was a whole pod of dolphins in the bay. So I flew the drone out and I managed to get some footage of them coming up for air in the bay. It was absolutely breathtaking. Never seen them around this sort of area since, but it was pretty incredible.
The next section was pretty poor and very muddy, but it wasn't long before I was back on some very typical British railway paths.
You can still see remnants of the old railway, look. I know this is very different to cycling across the Highlands in winter or riding across the Atlas Mountains in Morocco like I've done recently. But this route is very special to me, and you'll soon see why.
And after leaving Robin Hood's Bay, past the prickly gorse bushes, I could feel myself getting closer to Scarborough, a place I'd spent a lot of time as a kid. Once the place to visit on a British holiday, Scarborough's not quite the town it used to be, but here was the perfect place to stop for a healthy lunch, before rejoining the route that I'd created.
I think my route planning skills might have done me wrong here. Now's probably a good time to tell you about my plans today. You might have noticed I'm running a slightly less bulky bikepacking setup today because I've not got any camping gear. Instead, I'm actually cycling to a little tiny village called Bempton near Bridlington, and I'm going to stay at my granny's, so that should be good.
The final few miles were through undulating farmland, but it wasn't long before I made it to my granny's house. I remember vividly coming here as a student when I had no money, cycling from friends to family's houses, doing my own bikepacking trip on a shoestring budget. But this time was very different. Although I was at my granny's house, she wasn't here. In fact, she hadn't been here for a few months. My granny had passed away in the winter time after a long battle with Parkinson's disease, and the house remained empty. It felt very strange coming back to a place where I was always so welcome, with some of her personal possessions still here, but that warmth had gone. The last time I bikepacked here, she'd made a massive fuss of me, and I remember her making me a cup of tea, giving me a Rington's ginger biscuit. We both sat out here in the arbour on a lovely summer's evening, talking about the usual stuff grandparents talk about. I looked over at the stork, which had been in our family for generations, and it had become a tradition for children to sit on it and have their photo taken. But what was going to happen to it now? Day 2. It had dawned on me that this was likely the last time I'd be back here, so I wanted to take a trip down memory lane and visit places I'd been with my granny. I headed up the road to Bempton Cliffs, a bird sanctuary overlooking the North Sea. We used to come here a lot and watch the puffins nesting on the rock face. Here you can really see the continuity of life. Like clockwork, these birds come to roost here every year, and so starts the cycle of life again. Next stop was Flamborough Head, by the lighthouse. We'd come here to see the lifeboats and walk down the steep steps down to the caves. It felt like here would be the perfect place to stop for breakfast. So I locked up the bike and unclipped the hemlock pack with the cooking equipment in, and gingerly walked down the steep steps in my cleats to the beach, taking the time to reflect on some wonderful memories I had. The sea just keeps coming in and taking a little bit more with it each time. Bit by bit, things just aren't quite the same anymore. I only had about 20 miles to do today, so I wanted to take my time to be present and enjoy the stunning scenery the Yorkshire coast has to offer. While I waited for the water to boil, the tide was coming in ever closer, and I knew I wouldn't have long before I had to leave. But thankfully it didn't take long before I could make myself a nice cup of tea. Stupidly, I'd left the Yorkshire tea at home, but this did the trick, and I savoured the last few minutes I had looking out at the waves, reminiscing on the brilliant times I had here as a child. The tide came in, so I headed back up the long, steep staircase to visit the final place I wanted to go. Me and my granny often came to Bridlington, the nearest town to where she lived, and one summer she rented out a beach hut for just me and her to spend the whole day on the beach. We had fish and chips and made sandcastles, and she always used to tell me how I never wanted to leave the hut. It was like my own tiny house by the sea. And as I looked out at the sea one final time, I realised the places we love won't always be there, and neither will we. So get out there and make the most of it while you can. This is the part of the video where I normally do a giveaway. The last few months I've been giving away some amazing prizes to you subscribers, people watching this video. And I've been doing that primarily to get more comments, more engagement from you. But this video, it doesn't really feel right. This is more of a personal story. But I also want to be able to give something to you because I don't want to break my promise of being able to do a giveaway every month. So instead, I thought it'd be good to do something a little bit more personal. The whole point of this film was to showcase that you need to go out and make the most of life now, because you never really know when things are going to change. There's always something coming around the corner. One thing I've got really good at over the last few years is learning to be present, and I've harped on this loads of times on this channel. But in pretty much every film you've seen me do, I go out and I make a point of making a cup of tea or something to eat, finding a quiet spot and just being alone with my thoughts. So I want to be able to give that gift to you. So I am going to be giving away a bike packing mug from Alpkit. This is bomb-proof mug that you can stick on your bike and it will last you a lifetime. And I'm going to give away some Yorkshire tea and some Rington's ginger biscuits in memory of my granny. And they are absolutely lovely. If you've never tried them, you will be addicted. So yes, it's not a massive, super expensive giveaway, but I feel like it's more poignant to the film that I was trying to make. And I'm sure you will enjoy it. If you want to be in with a chance of winning this, albeit pretty humble prize, all you need to do is 3 things. It's the same as always. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment telling me what you liked about the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I'll be picking a winner of this prize in the middle of next month, so good luck to you there. Oh, and while I'm here, congratulations to Chris, who won the Manzanita Cradle from Old Man Mountain from my Morocco film last month. Thank you so much for watching as always. I hope you enjoyed this different film. It was a little bit personal to me, but I really wanted to convey it while I had the chance. Thanks very much for watching. Make the most of life. I'll see you in the next one.